What's up with you and Ish, man? Are y'all okay, man?
Yo, what is it that people think that me and Ish have a thing? Why? Is it because we're both light skinned?
No, it's also because you guys seem to be, this is not disrespect because I'm also similar. You guys feel like know-it-alls. And you guys always have insights into every conversation because of your experiences.
I think there's going to consistently be 3 people up there who are probably going to have the same back and forths that are going to come off like real issues. It's going to be Joe, Ish, and myself. You're not going to get Mel to yell. Parks definitely isn't yelling. Ice definitely isn't yelling. And Flip, you don't know whether he's serious or not in the yell. So he's going to always come off like it's solely, purely for entertainment.
Facts.
Us 3, we're very strong about our opinions. We also like to be right in our opinions. And we also can turn off that emotion or anger at the drop of a dime because it's not that serious in the sense of a friendship being at hand. So I can, like, I've been up there and Joe and Ish have went back and forth and then snap out of it and we right back and then everyone's dapping. Same thing with me and Ish. Like, we've had one moment where that was the case and then we dap and then we leave and it's cool. And even with like the comment where he said I want knowledge from people who know what they're talking about thing.
You last Patreon, you cursed him out.
I didn't curse Emanny out, never.
So you want help from rich niggas?
No, I want help from niggas that know what they talking about.
So Emanny don't know what he talking
No, he don't.
Even when that happened, I felt the way. I watched the pod.
Okay.
So now as a person who's now home watching the pod, I'm like, oh shit. But then I laughed it off because, like, you know what? I let it be. I'm just hearing the audio. I didn't see the visual.
Yeah.
I said, you know what? Something tell me to go watch this visual.
Yeah.
And I didn't like the mannerisms. I didn't like the face. I didn't like everything that came with it. And then people putting in my mentions and all that stuff. So I was like, oh, this feels like maybe he doesn't understand how it was represented to the rest of the world watching. But then also, I'm a guy with pride and ego. As someone who doesn't think a comment like that is valid, I want to address it, and I also want to address it in a way where no one else could ever think that this is cool. And in trying to do that, it didn't go the best way that it could have went. I think solely due to me, because maybe I got maybe a little bit more emotional and intense about it. And left it at that. We spoke after that as men. Yo, bro, I ain't like it. Yo, E, I understand. It was never intended like that. But, you know, I think maybe it's just a matter of our pride and ego sometimes. And, you know, you're right. I see what you're saying. But let's make it very clear. Me, I think that comment should never be made about me when coming to giving advice on entertaining. And that's all I did. All I was offering to the people that I enjoy and work with was advice on how to watch yourself as an entertainer. And as me, as an entertainer growing up, all I did was watch myself over and over again. I would do the science. I would study the tapes. Watch over and over. How do I sit? How do I talk? Am I stuttering over a certain thing? Am I cutting somebody off? And that's all I ever offered. And I think anyone should be able to offer that, whether they have 20, 30, 40 years into the shit.
There's been this comment that I've seen in the comment section and on Reddit, people saying that your R&B artistry, your experience should not at all factor into any podcast critiques. How do you feel about that? Because there was some people that said you should not be telling Ish anything because he's more probably experienced in podcasting than you by this point.
Who? That person is most likely a person that has never sat in front of a camera or been on a stage. So who are they now to tell me any of that is valid?
Yeah.
We're all just giving critiques. I'm not mad at someone being able to say, yo, you might not know what the fuck you're talking about. Okay, cool. But I know I do. So I'm going to do what I think I should do, and you can either subscribe to it or not. But there are tons of people on Reddit, YouTube comments, doing all this shit, critiquing us who have never done anything in the field. Who the fuck are y'all to tell us that we can't critique within this shit? Like, it makes no sense. Like, it's like the pot calling the kettle black at this point.
I understand because I'm getting that now where like somebody will call me like super fat, then you go to their page and they're
they're fat. It's like, what are you talking about?
But I just think there's this kind of subsection of people that feel as if you came on the pod as if you were a know-it-all and you tried to infuse the R&B. I feel like I see you as someone who's a content creator, even prior, because I listened to your old podcast, Box Office. I listened to the thing you did where you were interviewing R&B artists. It's like you do have, even absent of your R&B background, things that you can provide, but there are people who see you that way.
That's cool. And I let them see me how you want. Most likely those people aren't tuning in for me anyways.
Yeah.
I don't expect everyone to tune in to see if Emanny's going to be up there today or if he's going to, like, so it's cool. Like, there's going to be people who are just not into me as a person.
You ever think of, like, doing what Flip does and maybe taking a piece like, I don't care who's here to see, you know, playing with the audience like that? No. Some people do that.
No.
It works out.
Because I don't want to continue to invite that energy because that energy will start to, like, trickle down to the point where it'll really make you feel uncomfortable. And I don't want, like, for me, I'm not saying for Flip, but for me, I'll get uncomfortable in that. And I don't want to invite that energy. It's the same reason why when I do go on like a Twitter Spaces or something, I try to limit the conversations I have with certain people because I don't even want them to think that I'm that open to them being able to interact with me in that type of way. So I don't want to do the villain, the fake heel shit. I don't want to do any of that. Like I just want to be me. Yeah. I'm the Freaky E or whoever. I want to be that, and you can interact with me in that way, or just don't interact with me. Just leave me alone.
Got it. All right. A couple minutes ago, you just said something interesting. You said that you didn't want for Ish to talk like that, and other people feel comfortable talking like that. What do you mean by that? You said that.
I don't. To make a statement. So to make a statement like that when you're working so close with someone, when you don't really have a full gauge of all the knowledge that they do have, because at the end of the day, I've known Ish for some time, but I don't know him to the extent that I know Ice or Parks or Joe or Corey. Like I've worked with these guys, I've lived with these guys. So some of the knowledge and things that I've been able to exhibit to them might be some things that Flip and Mel and Ish have missed at a certain point. So it just felt very dismissive. It just felt very like quick to come to a conclusion about when it was just like, nah, take the time to really see maybe I do have the knowledge.
Okay.
That was it. But I can understand why someone would say that. I get it.